some serious stuff.
Hi guys, welcome to Antiviral Hangout. It has been forever since we've had an update on Debbie, so I figured it's time to sit her down and just go over a few things with you guys. For those of you that don't know, she has gone through, she's had a very rare case of leukemia. She's overcome it, and she's going to explain things in further detail. So stay tuned.
What take is this? 5?
Okay, 6.
We're on 6 already?
Yep, number 6.
Oh my goodness, and this one's a good one.
And it's been a while. So we left off with, I was back home, and,
Well, you've been home.
yeah, I've been home. And my daughter was going to be coming with my grandson, and, like, things were going good. Except I was going to have an ultrasound done on my arm, and,
That's where we left off.
that's kind of where we left off. I was kind of like cruising through life with no problems, whatever. And anyway, so now the update. Cruising through life ended pretty fast.
As always.
Okay, but
Seems to be like a Debbie thing.
it is. But the update on the blood clot is the ultrasound showed that it is getting better. See, my arm is a little bit not so puffy anymore. It's almost like my other one. And then doing a lot of reps with my little dumbbell doesn't irritate it as much as it used to. So anyway, that's getting better. It's not gone. It's just getting better. So they said it'll take a while, but as long as it's...
She can't do this.
Yeah, I can't do overhead
Well,
stuff.
she said don't do that.
Oops.
God.
Don't
See?
show the doctor a ride.
This is why she doesn't get better.
Right? Okay, so anyway, while I went and had all that test done, I had a lot of other stuff done. So I had my 6-month bone marrow biopsy, because they do it at your 90 days, your 6 months, and then your 1 year, and then after that, I believe it's just once a year, I think. Anyway, so I had my 6-month done, and the bone marrow biopsy showed that I'm now 100% grafted, and I'm still cancer-free.
This is good news. This is the good news.
Yeah, that's the great news. However, what we wanted to explain is it's like a misconception, because people think, oh, you're 100% grafted, you're cancer-free, you're good. So...
And then everybody just assumes that life can go on its merry way.
Yeah, like...
It's not true.
I'm done, unless it comes back.
You're thinking that you're just going to be able to live till you're 80,
Yeah.
90, 120.
Yeah, well, I hope
No
not.
problems.
So...
Hey, we have big plans.
I know. So, anyway, with a bone marrow transplant, at least, I don't know about other cancers, I'm not the cancer pro, but with this bone marrow transplant, it's great you're cancer-free. However, you still are going to have side effects with the transplant, because you're still going to be fighting GVHD, graft versus host disease, which is basically going to be with you your whole life.
We covered that in a previous video.
Right. So
I'll link it up in the iCard.
okay. So right now, my body, I'm A negative. My donor is A positive. So right now, my body is my blood type is switching to his blood type. So I will eventually be A positive. So what comes with that, even though I'm cancer-free, this is still going to happen. My cells are still trying to fight that off. And so that causes flare-ups of GVHD.
So it's thinking of that as like a foreign object or something?
Yes. And it takes a while for the blood type to switch. So I'm going through that right now. It's just been a couple of months. I don't know how much longer it's going to take. It's going to take quite a few more months for the switch to happen. Whenever I do labs, they test for it. So it is being monitored closely. And I'm also...
Oh my gosh, does it go from A- to A plus?
And I think it just goes right to A plus. A plus.
What if there's like the haze, you know, where it's like a pinkish or
Then
something?
I'm gonna suffer. So also I'm going to eventually be switching to my donor's DNA. So like my DNA will not exist anymore. So luckily I did that that whatever DNA test for that.
Ancestry.
Yeah. So also that switches over, and of course my immune system will be his also. So hopefully my donor has a good immune system, because I had a good immune system and I don't want to go back to that. So anyway, all of this still needs to happen, and it creates more flare-ups of GVHD mainly, and other issues could arise. So just because I'm cancer-free, it does not mean that I am clear sailing and things are going to be perfect with me. I am still going to struggle. Lately, so the blood clot's great, and
Here we go.
so what happened was I was going back and forth to Stanford almost weekly in March, which is, you know, like 3.5 hours away. And luckily I have a car that gets good gas mileage because gas prices are so high. So anyway, I went in for a pulmonary test because they do that at your 6th month also, to compare it to the pulmonary test you took before your transplant. And, you know, just like all these different breathing tests, the results came back worse, of course, than when I was first admitted for my transplant. So that's not good. So my doctor had me go over to get a CT chest scan, and I had that done, and that showed something abnormal going on around my heart. So then that led to an echo test, which is an ultrasound of your heart and everything. So, and more in detail than the CT scan. So the echo test did show I had fluid all around my heart and my lungs. And so they're like, have you been shortness of breath? Or, you know, like, how do you feel? And actually I felt fine. The only time I started noticing something different is when I would go out to exercise or whatever, like if I go up little hills. I'm not going up anything big because I don't have the strength yet, but you know, normally of course you get out of breath, but I noticed it was a little bit more than normal. And then like I live upstairs in an apartment, and so I noticed walking up my stairs like halfway, like I was really winded, and that's not like me. And then I'd have to come inside and like sit down for a minute to catch my breath, and that definitely is not like me. So that's the only like symptoms I had that I noticed, and why I knew something wasn't right. And also when I would just go on casual walks, I didn't really notice anything. However, I was starting to get really dizzy a lot and very fatigued. There's like a little park across the way, and they have benches there, and I'd have to go sit down and like get myself together. So I knew something was wrong there, and you know, I did labs, so of course my red blood cell count dropped quite low, not low enough for a transfusion. It was almost there. So there was a lot of medication changes that were going on that could affect that, but it's also just something that happens with a transplant. Your cell counts just go up and then they'll drop, and that's why you need to have labs done all the time. So I had that going on.
How often do you have to get labs? Like once a week?
Every other week.
Oh, okay.
So I had that going on, and so they kept doing echo tests every week to see if there was any improvements or anything. And of course there wasn't. So I had one done on March 31st, and that echo test showed that I got more fluid. It's getting worse, of course. So my doctor, you know, she really cares for her patients a lot, which I'm grateful for. So she's only treated 4 people in her career of dealing with transplants with fluid around their lungs after transplant, which is from GVHD. So it's kind of rare. And those 4 people, she didn't really quite know, well, the first couple know how to handle it because it was so new. And they didn't die, but they really struggled. I guess they were having a really hard time breathing and stuff, and I wasn't really that bad. Like my heart rate was fine. I was at 100% oxygen taking in, stuff like that. So anyway, but because this is kind of rare, and she didn't want it to get worse, she decided that I needed to be admitted back in the hospital, because I would be able to see a cardiologist faster, and they can do a more in-depth test. So that was a Friday, and I was a little upset because there's no teams like that available on the weekends, because the weekends they have smaller teams. So I basically sat there all weekend and did nothing.
She did run around the hospital though.
The only thing they did do, because I was off of the Jacophy, which brought my rash down, last year. So the only thing they did do was put me back on the Jacophy, and they figured that with the steroids would help the fluid, and they would do another echo test Monday to see if there was an improvement. But there was no cardiologist there, and because it wasn't an urgent case, I was able to breathe fine and everything, they didn't call one in. So I was a little upset about the whole entire situation, whatever. I got through it. Monday, I did the echo test, and it showed some improvement, so they discharged me that evening. But while I was in the hospital, I started developing like another ulcer on the side of my tongue. And it was on the side where my ulcers I had in the beginning were really bad. And it was getting hard to eat, and I had to numb it. And so they took a culture of it. And
mind you, this is what started this whole entire process.
Yeah.
It was the mouth problem. And here it is coming back after
Right.
all this time.
So it's very common to get GVHD in your mouth, which will be the ulcers. So that's what they did the culture for, to test if it's that or herpes. So it came back as herpes. Actually, I had 2 tests done in the hospital and outside of the hospital. Shadow's going to join you. And they both show positive for herpes, which is good. It's easier to treat, and I developed that because of a side effect of the steroids, and since I don't have an immune system, I have nothing to fight it off. So she upped a cyclovir, which is kind of an antiviral, to see if that I take every day anyway. She goes, sometimes when you up that, it'll help it. If not, we'll give you a really strong, different type of antiviral medicine. And I'm like, why not just give me that to begin with? Because this isn't going to help upping a cyclovir. So anyway, a week goes by, and guess what? That didn't help, and that one ulcer, I only got that one, and then another one on the tip of my tongue, which never really healed from, the
Initial.
thing. So so I called my doctor, so she finally prescribed this really strong stuff, antiviral medication, and that it took about a week, and it did start helping it. It's still there. They said it's probably going to take a while, and as a matter of fact, I have an appointment next month with a disease specialist because it's not healing so fast. And I think it's not healing so fast because this is where the initial really bad ulcers were in the beginning. And they also did a biopsy, back in November on one of those ulcers, So there was like already a lot of stuff that went on that side of my tongue. And now, something came back. So I think it's going to take longer to heal. But
Like scar tissue or something?
yeah, and I have a lot of scar tissue on the tip of my tongue, so that's never going to be normal again either. But I can eat better now. I still won't really eat really hard food. I don't have to numb my mouth anymore, so that's good. I just
witnessed it. We had, what was it? It's called Raising Cane's.
yeah, Raising Cane's.
Yeah, we're promoting them now. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
We're totally promoting.
It was really good, but
It was really
I
good.
totally witnessed with my own eyes. She didn't have to use any numbing cream or anything.
Yeah, it's like deep fried chicken fingers.
I'm pretty sure everybody but us knew what it was because we get everything so super last year.
Yeah, I know, in case anyone doesn't know. It's really good food,
Yeah, it's like it's chicken fingers and...
Yeah, so I would not have been able to eat that without them in my mouth. I mean, I have to eat carefully, but I can eat. So anyway, it is getting better, but it's not. It should have been healed, and it's not. So we'll see what the disease specialist says. Whatever. So hopefully the fluid got better. It feels like it because I was able to like feel something was like in my chest. I don't really feel that anymore, but we'll see what the ultrasound says. So, and then April 9th, my daughter and my adorable little grandson came.
He's super cute.
He's so sweet. I forgot how much he turned 3 months old while he was here. They were here for 3 weeks. So I had that going on, and I forgot how much work it is to take care of a baby. Wow. But he's adorable, so it was well worth it, and I miss them, and it was great having them here to keep my mind off things and occupy my time.
Yeah.
So
he's really cute.
he is. He's so sweet.
Of course, we have to put pictures.
Yes, we will. And he turned over from his stomach to his back for the first time while he was here, and he started cooing while he was here. Now he's laughing. It's just so cute. Anyway, so they were here for 3 weeks, and that was nice. And then I have my echo test tomorrow, and then I'll meet with the cardiologist again.
Your rash is coming back.
Oh, also, did I say how I had the GVHD in my eyes and my joints?
Yeah, you started off with the joints, not your eyes.
Oh, well, when I went
maybe you just told me. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think I did. So when I went to the doctor initially, back when they discovered the fluid around my heart, it was an actual appointment, and like my eyes were a little swollen, and my ankles and all up to my knees were really swollen, like you couldn't see my calf muscles, and the joints in my feet were killing me. Like I kind of stopped doing my walks, and it was just killing me all through here because I couldn't raise my arms. This hand was totally swollen again. It hurt to drive home. I couldn't even take the key out of my ignition. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So my doctor looked at everything, and she's like, yeah, it's GVHD. So anyway, great. So she put me back on steroids, and like within a week that all improved. But yeah, that's how the hand thing will have a picture of a comparison. It got swollen, and it hurt really bad, like really bad for quite a few days. Like I couldn't really use that hand again. So I did have all that going on, and my joints really hurt, like really bad. Like carrying the laundry basket, it was very painful.
Especially going upstairs.
Yeah, it was all, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be put in a wheelchair again. So I had that going on. So see, that's how GVHD just kind of creeps up on you. So I said,
so it's a tongue, joints, eyes, and now your skin again.
Yeah, and so then the other night, evening, I was having a lot of itching going on, and I'm like, dang. So I go and look, and that wonderful rash that I had back in October, well, it started coming back. Not nearly what it was. So because I had acute GVHD of the skin, they said it will come back, but it's chronic GVHD. And sure enough, it has. So it's like under my arms right here and around my breast area. It improved under this arm, like it's almost gone, and then around that area, and then around my stomach again. And then yesterday it started like showing up in between my fingers. So, but see, they're not swollen or anything. So I'm keeping the steroid cream that I have on it. And that's what they said to do, and see if that helps. If it doesn't, then I just tapered off of my steroids. So if that doesn't help, they'll put me back on the steroids. But hopefully the steroid cream will just do the job. So far it seems to be doing pretty well. So, but it's not coming back as this full-blown rash. It's just like kind of like hives, and it just kind of itches. But so I have that going on right now. Also, that and the tongue, and the fluid, and the blood clot.
Other than that,
I'm great. So that is basically the update, and all this GVHD and all this stuff is happening because my blood type's changing, like I said, to A positive, and that's what happens. It's just I'm gonna get flare-ups throughout my life. Just have to deal with it when it comes. You know, I could go years being perfectly fine, which I'm sure I will, but I'm still, you know, I'm only 8 months in. So with my transplant, that's why the recovery is so long, because that first year, a lot of flare-ups happen and stuff like that. So just have to go with it.
Gotta stay optimistic, everybody keep praying, and
take it day by day.
you know.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
So let's just hope my appointment tomorrow comes out good, and the stupid rash won't get any worse. That's my main concern, and I'll be happy.
Alrighty, well, we're gonna have some shopping trips coming up here for you guys pretty soon. Wait till she gets back from all of her testing and stuff. We're always constantly trying to figure out a way to do things, and she always has something going on.
And then you have something going on, and yeah.
True. I never have anything going on. It's been weird.
I know. You're like all busy now.
I know. It's ridiculous. What the heck is going on?
I know.
So,
What's going on in this world?
We'll figure it out. We're going to take you guys shopping with us again. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be
We
fun.
always have a good time.
Yeah,
so.
we do. Okay, and I don't think there was anything else, right?
No, I think it's time for dessert.
Oh, okay. Dessert sounds great.
All right, thanks so much for watching.
Thank you, and hopefully the next update will be better.
Well, it's better. It's, you know, you're gaining knowledge as we're going and
Right. Yeah.
learning to deal with everything that comes your way. So
Yeah.
and they know how to treat pretty much everything. And a lot of them were over the phone too, video calls and stuff like that. A lot of your appointments.
No.
I mean, not your labs and stuff like that.
No.
I mean,
Well, I've been.
and your eco and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I've been going back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah. As long as I don't have to go back in the hospital,
She was so mad.
I
last time
was-
she had to go to the hospital.
I was
she
really
was
mad. Yeah.
She called me. She's like, "Oh my god, they put me in the hospital." She's like, "There's nobody even here. Seriously?"
I know. I was like to all the nurses, I don't know why I'm here, and they're like,
She's like, "I am going home."
why are
And
you
then her
here?
daughter was coming like literally
A
just
week
like,
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta get home. I can't stay in here when I'm perfectly fine. You throw me on that medication and just let me go. And when the doctors came in Monday morning, I wasn't even scheduled for an echo test. And I told the doctors on their rounds, I'm like, I'm leaving no later than tomorrow. I said, do your testing now and get me out of here. I'm not staying. I don't need to be here. I feel fine. I had a little, what's that heart test called?
EKG.
Yeah, I had like a little mini EKG that was constantly attached to me, and had a little monitor that I had to carry around with me. I took a picture of it. And so I was that EKG was constantly monitoring me 24/7, you know, to make sure my heart rate was always normal, and it was fine.
I think that's what ticked you off the most.
I know. And
See, I'm fine.
And my oxygen level, they kept testing that, was always 100%. I'm like, I'm breathing fine. And yeah, so anyway, then the nurses came in after the doctors. They're like, guess what? You're getting your echo test done now. I'm like, thank you. And then, so luckily that came back as there was a small improvement of the fluid. So yeah, the doctor's like, yeah, we'll discharge you. And they did that evening, so it all worked out. I threw a really big fit. Anyway.
Alrighty, for sure. Now we're
Okay.
gonna say goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
See, that little Debbie is a feisty one, huh? All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much
Thank
for watching. I hope this is
Yeah.
informative for everybody that knows somebody that's going through a similar situation. And we will have an update again soon. Can't wait to see us out there shopping again. This is going to be so much fun. Bye-bye now.